Hello and welcome to another part of this chapter, probability. In the previous part, we have discussed about the binomial law. This is the binomial law where Pi is the probability of getting exactly I number of success from the n number of independent trials. Here P is the probability of success and Q is the probability of failure. So Q equal to 1 minus P. I is the number of success, n is the number of trial. So this was the binomial law. Using binomial law, few problems can be solved. In this part, we shall give one or two examples. Now, if the number of trials n is large, then the binomial law becomes little complicated. In this case, we shall convert the binomial law to another law, that is called Poisson's law. And in this part, we shall prove how to convert the binomial law to Poisson law for limiting cases. Now, we consider one limiting case. That is, if the number of trial n is large, that means n tends to suppose infinity. So n is large, and the probability of success becomes very small. That means p tends to 0. So we assume that probability of success is very small, but the number of trials is very large, such that if we multiply this, then this np, we call it mu. This is a moderate value. So it is a moderate value. That means it is neither too large nor too small. So n is large, p is small, but np is equal to mu, which is a moderate value. Now we shall convert the binomial law to Poisson's law. So we start with the binomial law, and it is p of I, that means probability of exactly I success out of this n trials. So it is nci p to the power I, and you know that q means 1 minus p to the power n minus I. So we can write here. Now NCI can be written as n factorial divided by I factorial n minus I factorial p to the power I. Now what is p? Now p can be written as mu by n. So instead of p, we write mu by n to the power I, and 1 minus p. Now p is mu by n, so it is 1 minus mu by n to the power n minus I. That is equal to, now n factorial can be written as n into n minus 1, n minus 2, up to n minus I plus 1, and the remaining terms are n minus I factorial divided by I factorial n minus factorial, so that we can cancel it out n minus I factorial from the numerator and denominator. Into, now here we have mu to the power I divided by n to the power I multiplied by 1 minus mu by n to the power n minus I. Now we can cancel these two terms, n minus I factorials. Now we consider these terms, n into n minus 1, n minus 2, up to n minus I plus 1. Now how many terms are there? There are exactly I number of terms. So there are I number of terms, and there is n to the power I. So we have to divide each and every terms by 1n. So if we divide this, we find this is 1 into 1 minus 1 by n, 1 minus 2 by n, up to 1 minus I minus 1 by n divided by I factorial. So there are I number of terms and there is I number of n. So if we divide these terms by n to the power I, we shall find this term. Next, to write the remaining terms. Now we have considered that n is tends to infinity. So in this formula we shall apply the limit n tends to infinity. So here we have taken the limit n tends to infinity on Pi. So if we take n tends to infinity, so these are the terms, and it was 1 minus mu by n to the power n minus I. So we have written it as 1 minus mu by n to the power n, and this is 1 minus mu by n to the power I is equal to, now as n tends to infinity, so 1 minus 1 by n, it tends to 1, 1 minus 2 by n, it tends to 1, similarly 1 minus I minus 1 by n, it tends to 1. So all the terms in the numerator tends to 1. Mu to the power I, it is independent of n, I factorial is independent of n. Now 1 minus mu by n, now 1 minus mu by n, as n tends to infinity, it becomes tends to 1, so 1 to the power I, now I is finite, so 1 to the power finite is tends to 1, so it becomes mu to the power I by I factorial limit n tends to infinity 1 minus mu by n to the power n. So we have calculated all the terms except these terms. Now as n tends to infinity, it becomes 1 minus mu by n, that means tends to 1 to the power infinity. So 1 to the power infinity, we have to determine this limit. You can easily find the value of this limit from the formula, but in this case we shall find this limit by using L'Hospital's rule. Now here we have computed this limit. We consider this limit as L. So L equal to limit of this. So to compute this limit, we take the logarithm with base E. So if we take the logarithm, here we have interchanged the limit and logarithm because logarithm function is continuous. So logarithm of this, so taking power here, so n logarithm of this. Now here we have written n equal to 1 by 1 by n. So here it is of the form 0 by 0. Now as n tends to infinity, it is log 1 which tends to 0, and 1 by n tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. So it is of the form 0 by 0. So if we apply L'Hospital's rule, that means this is equal to differentiation of the numerator and denominators. So here we have differentiated the numerator, that is log of 1 minus something, so that is 1 by something multiplied by the differentiation of this 1 minus mu by n, which is this one, mu by n square. And here we have differentiated 1 by n, that is minus 1 by n square. Now cancelling out 1 by n square from the numerator and denominator, then it becomes minus mu by 1 minus mu by n. So if we apply n tends to infinity, it tends to minus mu. So logarithm of L is equal to minus mu, that means L is equal to e to the power minus mu. So we have computed that this limit is, it is mu to the power I by I factorial multiplied by e to the power minus mu. So this law is called the Poisson's law. So we write here, this is the Poisson law. This is the probability of exactly I number of success, that is e to the power minus mu multiplied by mu to the power I by I factorial. In binomials law, I varies from 0 to n, but here we have assumed that n tends to infinity. So the number of success may vary from 0 to infinity. Where mu is called the Poisson parameter, which is approximately equal to np, where n is the number of trials and p is the probability of success. So this law is called Poisson law. Now one thing to note, that we have completed the proof by assuming I not equal to 0. Now if in particular, if I's number of success is 0, then also it can be proved that the binomial law tends to Poisson law. Because as I equal to 0, then this is the binomial law corresponding to I equal to 0. So it becomes 1 minus p to the power n. Now what is p? Now p is mu by n to the power n. Now if we take n tends to infinity, then this limit becomes to the power e to the power minus mu. We have already proved that this tends to e to the power minus mu, and which is same as if we take I equal to 0 in this formula. For in both cases, I equal to 0 or I not equal to 0, the binomial law tends to Poisson law for n tends to infinity and p tends to 0. Next, we shall consider few examples. We have considered a very simple problem, that is, a fair coin is tossed 10 times. Find the probability of getting exactly 4 heads, at least 9 heads and no head. Okay, it is given that the toss the coin is tossed 10 times. So n is the number of trial, n is 10. Suppose you are considering getting ahead as success. So what is the probability of success? That is the probability of getting ahead, which is p equal to half. And so probability of failure, that is q equal to half. So we write here the binomial law, that is p of I. So probability of exactly I success, and we know that it is NCI, p to the power I, q to the power n minus I. Now what is the value of n? This is 10. So 10CI. Now p to the power I, p is half, so it is half to the power I. And what is q? Q is again half, so it is half to the power 10 minus I. So here we can write it. This is 10CI multiplied by 1 by 2 to the power 10, where I is the number of success, varies from 0 up to 10. Now consider the first example. So we have to find that what is the probability of getting exactly 4 heads. So here I equal to 4, and the formula is, and the probability should be 10C4 multiplied by 1 by 2 to the power 10. Number 2, it is given that we have to find the probability of getting at least 9 heads. That means I is greater or equal to 9. So it is either I equal to 9 or I equal to 10. Now these two events, I equal to 9 and I equal to 10, these two are mutually exclusive. So you can write here P of I equal to 9 plus P of I equal to 10. Now what is the value of probability of exactly 9 success? It is 10C9 multiplied by 1 by 2 to the power 10. And probability of getting exactly 10 success, that is 10C10 multiplied by 1 by 2 to the power 10. Now 10C9 is 10 and 10C10 is 1. So it is 11 by 2 to the power 10. And number 3, what is the probability of getting no head? That means I equal to 0. So it is 10C0 multiplied by 1 by 2 to the power 10. 10C0 is 1, so it is 1 by 2 to the power 10. So that completes the solution of this problem. We consider one more example. It is given that a missile has probability 2/3 to destroy its target. Assuming that the missiles are thrown independently, find the least number of missiles to be thrown such that the probability to destroy the target is at least 0.99. So here it is given that probability to destroy the target is 2/3. So if we assume that the event of destroying the target is success, so probability of success P equal to 2/3 and probability of failure is 1/3. So we have to find the least number of missiles to be thrown such that the probability of destroying the target is at least 0.99. Before that, we denote some events here. Let us denote the event AI by the target is destroyed at the ith attempt after failing all the previous attempts. So here we find the probability of this event. That means the target is destroyed at the ith attempt after failing all the previous attempts. So in this case, in the first attempt, we have failures. So the probability is 1/3. In the second attempt, it is again failure, that is 1/3. Continuing in this process, at the I minus 1th attempt, it is again failure after it is success at the ith attempt, that is 2/3. So the probability of AI is failure in the first attempt, so it is 1 by 3 multiplied by failure in the second attempt, 1 by 3. Continuing in this process, failure in the I minus 1th attempt, it is again 1 by 3, and success in the ith attempt, which is 2 by 3. So if we compute this, it will be 2 by 3 to the power I, because there are exactly I number of 3s here. So the probability that the target is destroyed at the ith attempt is 2 by 3 to the power I. We also consider this event B, which denotes the target is destroyed. So now we have to find the probability that the target is destroyed. That means probability of B. Now it is given that we have to find the minimum number of missiles to be thrown such that the target is destroyed. So we assume that n is the minimum number of missiles to be thrown. So we shall find the probability that the target is destroyed with this n missiles. Now n missiles are thrown. That means either the target is destroyed only at the first attempt, so A1, or the target may be destroyed after the second attempt, A2, or continuing in this process, the target may be destroyed at the nth attempts. So target is destroyed with these n missiles if at least one of these events happen. Now we know that these events are independent and also these are mutually exclusive. So by the third axiom of probability, we write that it is P of A1 plus P of A2 up to P of An. So which is, now P of A1, that is 2 by 3 plus P of A2, which is 2 by 3 square, and P of An, which is 2 by 3 to the power n. So if we take 2/3 common here, it is 1 plus 1/3 up to 1 by 3 n minus 1. This is a geometric series with the common ratio 1/3, which is less than 1. So its sum is 1 minus 1 by 3 to the power n divided by 1 minus 1/3. So which is equal to 1 minus 1 by 3 to the power n. So we have to find the minimum value of n such that probability of B, which is greater or equal to 0.99. That is 1 minus 1 by 3 to the power n. It is greater or equal to 0.99. From here we write that 1 by 3 to the power n, it is less equal to 0.01. If we take this one in the right hand side and this one in the left hand side, then 1 by 3 to the power n is less equal to 0.01. From here we can write 3 to the power n is greater or equal to 1 by 0.01, which is 100. So we have 3 to the power n is greater or equal to 100. To compute the minimum value of n, we take the logarithm on the both sides. So here we have taken the logarithm with base 10. So logarithm of 3 to the power n is greater or equal to logarithm 100. Now logarithm 100 with base 10 is nothing but 2. So that is n is greater or equal to 2 by logarithm of 3. So that is n is greater or equal to 2 by log of 3, which is 4.19. So what is, now n must be integer. So what is the minimum value of n? N should be greater or equal to 4.19. That means n equal to 5. So n equal to 5 is the minimum value or the minimum number of missiles to be thrown such that the probability to destroy the target is at least 0.99. That is 99%. So the final answer is minimum 5 number of missiles to be thrown such that the probability to destroy the target is 0.99. So that completes the solution and that completes this part also. So see you in the next part of this chapter probability. Until then, thanks for watching.